Newsfirst at 9. Headlines.
Hello there, very good evening to all our viewers. It is the 13th of May 2014 and welcome to the News at 9, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outscoon with tonight's headlines. Police constable murdered in Valipanna. 2 teachers who cut the hair of a student forcibly released on bail. University lecturers comment on the issues surrounding the allied science degree. 2,500 trainee nurses appointed. All preparations made for the Cirrus of Vesak kelapa are scheduled to begin tomorrow. Let's now cross over to our Newsfirst studios for a comprehensive news bulletin.
Thank you, Joel, for the headlines. A very good evening. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara.
And I'm Mahina Bongzo. Here's a look at the top stories from here at home. A police constable was murdered in the Valipanna area in Migama last night.
The deceased has been identified as Don Sumitananda Gunasekara, a 50-year-old resident of the Daga town area in Migama. According to the police, the officer had been attached to the Aludgamma police station and had been serving in the police checkpoint in the city. The constable, who had attended a private gathering held last night, had gotten involved in an argument with another individual. The police noted that the individual involved in the argument had subsequently left the location. The tragic incident occurred when the police officer was returning home on his motorbike with his 2 sons. According to the police, the individual had remained in close proximity to the victim's house and carried out the murder. One of the constable's son, who intervened, also suffered injuries.
My father spoke with an individual at the wedding. He had then gone ahead of us and remained in close proximity to our house. As soon as we stopped the bike at home, he attacked my father with a sharp object. One of the blows struck his arm and another struck his fingers. My father was also struck in the chest. In the scuffle, my elder brother also suffered a blow to his stomach.
According to the police, the injured were rushed to the Daga town hospital. However, the police constable succumbed to his injuries. The weapon used to carry out the murder has been taken into police custody. The Valipanna police is carrying out investigations into the incident. The suspect, who is believed to have committed the murder, has been taken into police custody. He was subsequently produced before the Matugama magistrate and placed in remand custody till the 20th of this month. Since the 1st of June 2013, 140 incidents where police officers were assaulted have been reported. 4 police officers died as a result of these assaults. Police officers who attempt to apprehend a suspect connected to a robbery shot at. Police OIC who attempted to resolve a dispute which arose at a farm shot at. Amblipitiya Pradesh Sabha chairman assaults 2 police officers who inspected 3 individuals who were riding motorbikes without helmets in the Panamure area. Police SI and constable who attempted to check a suspicious individual at the Mahal Harva junction in Kottava attacked with a sharp weapon. Group attacks police officers who raid an illicit liquor center in the Palvinatana area in Galaha. A police officer and his wife murdered in their house located in Ullalakumbarupitiya. OIC of the Boralla police dies after being crushed by a tree which is partially felled by protesters in the Tunnana area in Hanwella. 2 officers on duty assaulted in the Madrigiri area. 2 police constables who were carrying out vehicle inspections on the Dambula Kurunagala main road abducted and 1 was subsequently murdered.
On
many instances where the penal code or the law is being violated, there is a tendency that the police remain silent and inactive. This means law and order is being challenged. Whenever a government remains in power for a long period of time, factions begin to pose a challenge to law and order. This is what has happened in Sri Lanka. The police has become helpless. It seems as if the police has become subjugated and that they are working according to the needs of political forces. In such instances, the people begin to take power into their own hands, and as a result of this, they begin to attack the police. The Sri Lankan police force has had to experience this in a number of ways at present. As a result of this, law and order in the country has fallen into a helpless state.
මේ නිසා අසරණ බවට පත්වන්නේ මේ රටේ නීතිය හා යුක්තිය කියන කාරණය.
The police say that the post-mortem examination into the body of UPFA Palliagoda urban councillor Shyamila Sandharuwan was conducted today. Shyamila Sandharuwan was shot dead yesterday.
UPFA Palliagoda urban councillor 23-year-old Shyamila Sandharuwan was shot dead at around 11:15 last morning. The shooting took place at a location around 100 meters away from the Tyre Junction on the Old Candy Road towards Kelania. The assassins who arrived in a motorbike had shot the councillor, killing him and also injuring another. The police said that the body of the late Shyamila Sandharuwan was handed over to the relatives today. My son was to be appointed mayor. They killed him before he was made mayor. Those of the council banded up and killed him. He was to be made mayor after the 16th. Before that, they killed him.
We are faced with a situation where we cannot set foot on the road. If people are murdered in broad daylight like this, what is the situation in the country? This is dangerous.
He has two brothers. The brothers of the victim will seek vengeance from the killers because they cannot bear this sorrow. Then they will be branded as murderers. We want those two children to be spared.
If he died in an accident, we could bear it. This was a heinous crime carried out over power. Society needs to understand what has happened. The government needs to be held responsible for the murder of a person who does not even roam the streets with a piece of wood.
The funeral of the late Shyamila Sandharuwan will take place at the Palliagoda Public Cemetery on the 16th. Meanwhile, Prabhat Madhushankar Pahanwala, who was injured in the shooting, continues to receive treatment at the Colombo National Hospital.
Convening a media briefing today, members of the Federation of University Teachers Association, or FUTA, spoke on the issues surrounding the Allied Health Sciences degree.
All factions involved in the university sector, including the UGC, have unanimously agreed that the demands of these students are fair. In such a situation, we require a proper mechanism to solve this issue. The Minister of Health or the Minister of Higher Education cannot simply say that this issue does not involve them and that it is a problem of the GMOA. Just because the duration of the course was reduced, we cannot send out half-trained graduates as they deal with patients. If a decision is taken to make changes to a particular course after it begins, it should be done only after looking into the quality of the education that would be provided. They cannot merely do this based on the whim and fancy of certain trade unions or any other group.
The decision can only be taken by the educationalists and the university. The primary decision lies solely with the university and no one can interfere with this. For over 130 days have elapsed since these students took onto the streets. Are they waiting for these children to die? More than the parents, teachers and the students, the elected politicians have a responsibility to look into this issue. They cannot simply remain silent. If the government cannot do this, then they should leave and we should elect capable people for positions.
Minister Maithripal Sirisena says that no divisions in the health sector can accommodate trade union action. The minister made this comment while addressing an event held in Colombo today.
The event to enroll 2,500 students for nurses training and to hand over letters of appointment to nurses took place today under the auspices of Minister Maithripala Sirisena at the Colombo Exhibition and Convention Centre. A group including Deputy Minister of Health Lalit Disanayaka attended the event.
මම කල්පනා කරුවා
When I was accorded a warm welcome, I was thinking to myself whether the 2,500 who will be recruited today would be an army of demonstrators. Irrespective of the position you hold in the health sector, if you engage in strikes, you will be reborn as a patient in your next life. No division in the health sector can accommodate trade union actions. There are over 2,000 individuals present here today. Look at these faces. They seem very innocent. This innocence only prevails during the first day of work. After 3 or 4 years, when they pass out, all I could say is, may God bless the health service.
නිදහස් සෞඛ්‍ය සේවයට දෙවියන්ගේ පිළිගන්න.
Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, also known as DEMO, the general distributor of Mercedes-Benz in Sri Lanka, launched the Mercedes-Benz Centre of Excellence today. A press conference was held at the premises of the new centre, which has been dubbed DEMO 800.
The new centre is located at number 800 Sirmawa Bandaranaike Mawatha, Colombo 14. The press conference was chaired by the President and CEO of Daimler AG, Central, Eastern Europe, Africa and Asia, Peter Alexander Trettin, and Ranjit Pandithage, the Chairman and Managing Director of DEMO.
First of all, I would like to congratulate for 2 things to DEMO. First of all, to the 75th anniversary, to be one of the first general distributor of the Daimler AG now, and so they stuck so long with the relationship together with us. And Daimler, as you know, changed many times. We were Mercedes-Benz, we were Daimler Chrysler, and now we are Daimler AG. And so we are a well-performing company, and so we also are looking for well-performing partners, and DEMO is one of the cornerstones of the system. And secondly, I would like to congratulate for this amazing building, and also I work not only in the central function, I also work in retail, and this is an amazing building.
Incidentally, Asia's largest after-sales centre is located within the premises of the newly opened the Mercedes-Benz Centre of Excellence. The new centre, DEMO 800, spans across an area of 15,800 square feet and was constructed at a cost of 2.5 billion rupees. The after-sales service facility, consisting of 85 work bays with cutting-edge manufacturer-approved tools and equipment, is a central point that is dedicated to cater to all services, including maintenance and accident repairs.
We want to give, from the time that a customer comes to purchase a vehicle, that he's been treated at best. So after buying, to look at to service vehicle, to repair his vehicle, we want to give the best. Our founder fathers have inculcated it. Whatever what they earn money, they put back to the company in forms of training people, form of getting the best special tools. And when it comes to training people, we are the first company, and still one of the only companies that have a specialized training school with Mercedes-Benz train our mechanics.
The centre also comprises of a vibrant display of Mercedes-Benz vehicles, both new and pre-owned.
Two teachers who are charged with cutting the hair of a grade 6 student without her consent have been released on bail after being arrested and produced before court. The incident took place at a school located in the Kandy district.
2 teachers attached to a school in Kandy had cut the hair of a student without consent on the 8th of this month.
A teacher dragged me to the computer room while another teacher cut my hair. The other students screamed, so did I. They told me to throw away the hair that they cut. I threw the hair near the jackfruit tree. Then I took photos of the hair while the teachers told me not to. I'm afraid to remain in this school. She came home crying and said her hair had been cut. When I asked who did it, she said it was the teachers. We called the principal and explained what had happened. Her parents then said they are going to the police. She's psychologically affected. She's scared.
She attends my art school. She is very talented at acting. I am deeply hurt by this incident. The parents of the student who suffered this incident had lodged a complaint with the Wattigama police on the same day, stating that 2 teachers had cut their daughter's hair without consent. According to the police, the 2 teachers were arrested yesterday and produced before the Teldenia Magistrates Court. They were later released on 2 sureties of 25,000 rupees each.
A 16-year-old student from Kasbava, Piliandala, who was arrested by the police, has been released. The student and his parents alleged that he sustained injuries after being beaten at the police station.
The student was arrested by the police at around 11 a.m. on Sunday close to his residence down Pereira Mawata in Kasbava. The student charges that he was taken away to the Piliandala police station.
They handcuffed me. They then made me sit in a chair with the handcuffs. I do not know why they beat me. I asked them, but they did not say anything. They were not in uniform, nor did they say they were from the police when I was taken away. I returned from work at around 4 in the evening. Then I received a phone call from the police saying that my son was at the Piliandala police. They wanted me to come and pick up my son. They recorded a statement from my son at around 9:30. They took his signature and released him. The next day we visited the Mount Lavinia police and made a complaint. We showed them the injuries he sustained. They provided us with a letter and advised us to go to the hospital.
The parents said that they took their son to the Colombo South Teaching Hospital where he was subjected to an inspection, adding that they were advised to return to the hospital on the 17th. The police said that the boy was arrested in connection to a break-in at a house. The police said that the student was released subsequent to obtaining his fingerprints and a statement. The police noted that the student had previously been charged with break-ins as well.
Welcome back to the news. The procession carrying the sacred hair relics of Lord Buddha and the sacred relics of 12 Maharahat Theros to the Sirsa Vesak Kalapa in Colombo is nearing the Kalaniya Rajamahavihara. The sacred relics will be placed at the Kalaniya Rajamahavihara tonight. The Sirsa Vesak Kalapa, which will also feature the sacred relics of Lord Buddha's closest disciples, is sponsored by John Keel's Holdings. The Vesak zone is also supported by Eslon Lanka Private Limited.
The procession carrying the sacred relics commenced its journey to the Kalaniya Rajamahavihara at an auspicious time this morning. The journey began from the Murutuvela Dharma Chakra Vihara in Pasyala. The procession to bring the sacred relics of Lord Buddha to the Sirsa Vesak Kalapa commenced from the Yatihalagalu Rajamahavihara in Kandy on Sunday. The relics were placed at the Dadimuna Devale in Alutnuara on Sunday night. The relics were then brought to the Murutuvela Dharma Chakra Vihara in Pasyala yesterday. Meanwhile, a large number of devotees flocked on either side of the Colombo Kandy road to pay homage to the relics today. The procession made its way through Gampa and entered Ganemulla. Floral tributes were offered to the sacred relics from the earth. The procession will make its way through Kadavata and Kiribatgoda before nearing the Kalaniya Rajamahavihara.
The Sirsa Vesak Kalapa, which celebrates the birth, enlightenment and passing away of Lord Buddha, will commence tomorrow. The Sirsa Vesak Kalapa will be held at the premises of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, located down Braybrook Street, Colombo 2.
All preparations have been made for the Siras of Vesak Kelapa, which will commence at 4:45 p.m. tomorrow. The Siras of Vesak zone will feature the sacred hair relics of Lord Buddha, the sacred relics of the closest disciples of Lord Buddha, Sariput and Moggallana, and the relics of 12 Maharahat Theros. In addition to the exposition of sacred relics, the Siras of Vesak zone will also feature pandals, songs of devotion, and dansals to provide refreshments for devotees. The sacred relics of Lord Buddha's chief disciples, which will be made available for the public to pay homage, are placed at the Mahabodhi Agra Shravaka Vihara in Mardana. Special religious observances were held at the Vihara today as well. The Siras of Vesak Kelapa will be open for devotees for a period of 3 days, commencing tomorrow. Several Japanese monks and bhikkhunis arrived in the island yesterday to participate in the Siras of Vesak Kelapa.
The Japanese monks who arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport were welcomed by the chairman of the Mahabodhi Society, Venerable Banagala Upadesatera.
සිරස වෙසක් කලාපේ හතරවෙනි වරටත් වසර හතරක්ම ගත වෙන මේ මොහොත වෙනකොට
The Siras of Vesak zone is held for the fourth consecutive year. The Vesak Kelapa will feature the sacred hair relic of Lord Buddha and the other sacred relics. There has been much publicity for this event over the years, the world over. This time, 15 monks from the Hunganji temple arrived in Sri Lanka after hearing about this event organized by Sirasa. They are arriving in Sri Lanka to pay homage to the sacred relics. I am of the view that many foreign Buddhist leaders and Buddhists over the world can visit Sri Lanka to attend the Sirasa Vesak Kelapa in the future. We have arrived from the Hunganji temple to pay homage to the sacred relics. Our objective is to observe and enhance our knowledge about how Vesak is celebrated in countries that follow Buddhism.
Well, to mark this year's Vesak celebrations, Eslon Lanka Private Limited, a subsidiary of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, initiated a meritorious act of launching an application containing a set of Buddhist Pirith and Gatha.
The app was ceremoniously launched today at the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic in Kandy. The launch took place under the auspices of a group including Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, S.C. Veerasekara. The app was officially launched by the Deyawadana Nilame of the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, Pradeep Nilangadala. The Pirith and Gatha app functions on both iPhone and Android platforms. The new app can be downloaded freely by typing Pirith and Gatha from Eslon on the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store. Two books containing Pirith and Gatha compiled by Eslon Lanka Private Limited were presented to the Deyawadana Nilame at the launch. These books will also be distributed amongst the devotees who arrive at the Sirasa Vesak zone. Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, S.C. Veerasekara, and Deyawadana Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala exchanged mementos to mark the occasion.
At a time when we are marking the three important stages of Lord Buddha's life, Eslon Lanka has intervened and rendered a service to the Buddhists in Sri Lanka and all over the world. The app that can be accessed via Android and iPhone to listen to Pirith and Gatha will be useful to all Buddhists.
Subsequently, the group visited the Chief Prelate of the Malwatu chapter, Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thero. The Chief Prelate was also briefed on the new app.
In more local news, convening a meeting at Temple Trees today, President Mahinda Rajapaksa instructed officials to implement a proper plan to ensure that developed water supply systems is in place in the country.
The meeting was attended by Subject Minister Dinesh Gunawardena as well as officials attached to the Ministry of Water Supply and Drainage. The President's media unit said that the objective of the meeting was to discuss the current water supply projects and proposed projects. Issues faced by ongoing water supply projects were brought to the attention of the President during the meeting. The President had said that the projects that are to commence this year need to take place in a manner that will not inconvenience the public. At the meeting, the President pointed out that the government's objective is to fulfill the water requirements of the whole population, adding that constructions need to take place with the use of local expertise. The President had also pointed out that, similar to providing a developed road network through proper planning, a developed water supply system should also be implemented.
Parliamentarian Buddhika Pathurana participated at a function in Akurasa today.
Our village received nothing while Lamborghinis were driven. Some people fear to criticize openly. The Chinese created a better tomorrow for the influential people. That is the truth. The youth are engaged in fishing in the Magantuda waters as the port only accommodates 2 to 3 vessels a week. The Matale Airport is a bird sanctuary. The child who is born today is a debtor tomorrow. Foreign loans make up the money at the treasury. However, these donations will not be taken away from your pockets. The function was held to donate nutrition packs to the underweight children in the Akurasi area as a part of the Samadhi Kakulu program.
The central bank states that Sri Lanka continues to improve on United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific parameters. According to a communique issued by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the country has continued to improve its external debt sustainability indicators as computed in accordance with the Manual of Effective Debt Management of the UN SCAP. The release adds that of the 6 external debt indicators that are used to assess the external debt vulnerability of a country, Sri Lanka is placed in the less indebted category in 5 external debt indicators in 2013. In the remaining indicator, Sri Lanka is placed in the moderately indebted category. The indicators also show that Sri Lanka has displayed continuous improvements in 5 of the 6 external debt indicators in the year 2013 when compared to 2012. On sports news tonight, the 15-man Sri Lankan squad for the ODI series against England was named today. However, the chairman of selectors committee, Sana Jayasuriya, said that the team was named only for the first 2 matches.
The 5-match series will commence on the 22nd of this month at the Oval in London. Spinner Rangana Herath has not been included in the 15-man squad. Chairman of the selection committee Sana Jayasuriya, speaking to Sports First, said that Rangana Herath was not included in the team due to a prevailing injury in one of his fingers and believes that Herath will recover within the next week and hopes to recall him to the squad for the remaining matches. Upul Tharanga, Niroshan Dikwala, Kithruan Vithanage and Damika Prasad, who played in the series against Ireland, have not been included in the team, while Mahela Jawardana, Kumar Sangakkara and Lasit Malinga, together with upcoming players Ashan Priyanjan and Chaturanga De Silva, have been included.
The residential training camp for the 3rd phase of the Superfighter reality sports program commenced today at the Northwest Training Centre in Varyapola. Those taking part in the training program did not forget to make preparations to celebrate the Vesak festival.
Super Fighter.
128 competitors made it through to the second round under 4 weight classes, with over 10,000 boxers from all parts of the island vying for a spot. 64 of them made it to the 3rd round, and a residential training camp for these competitors commenced today. Meanwhile, the 64 contenders also took part in a competition to make Vesak lanterns. The training camp commenced there after this evening under the auspices of Superfighter head coach R.K. Indrasena and several national boxers.
Super Fighter.
And that's a wrap of primetime news for tonight. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
And I'm Mahina Bongso, leaving you with an invitation to visit the Sirsa Vesak zone, which commences tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Take care and good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.